Ndibo Kwen, yo. Kwen, yo. Where's one? I got you. Eyes up. Hey. Eyes up. Hey. Is that coming me?
This is Voice of Biafra BBI today on Biafra Discourse with the Supreme Council of Elders of Indigenous People of Biafra. We are privileged to have on set Biafra living legend, retired soldier but not tired, a hero, a leader and defender of Biafra. And I'm talking about no other person than Brigadier General Joe Achuzie. Sir, you're welcome to Biafra Discourse.
Thank you.
I am Achuzie Peters, and with me here is
and I am the Bishop Vincent.
This is a team from Voice of Biafra BBI 1. Today is with the current Biafran agitation, what is your stand and position with indigenous people of Biafra?
We are the indigenous people of Biafra, and we are the apex body of the indigenous. Our stand is that there are laws governing indigenous, and we believe that customary laws, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, should supersede constitutional laws made by any country over their territory, because it takes the indigenous to make up the country, and the country is only governed by a constitution made collectively by the various indigenous that make up that constituency of that country.
Okay, sir. With the things that are unfolding currently, there was a meeting by Southeast governors and stakeholders, including Ohanese. Were the leaders of the indigenous people of Biafra invited to that meeting?
I'm not surprised at the meeting held by the governors, and I don't believe that their meeting would have yielded any dividend. First and foremost, it must be appreciated that the governors are the constitutional leaders of the states in which they, as political gladiators, fought and won the election to govern that state, as ascribed by the Constitution. That's a different thing from a movement of the people within that state, which characterizes all activities that makes the people indigenous. The governors are not leaders of the indigenous of Igbo land or of southeastern Nigeria. No. It is the indigenous that know their leaders, not even traditional rulers, because you have 10, 12, 13, 15-year-old traditional rulers. Would you tell me that within the concept of leadership, that a 13-year-old will be the leader of his 45, 50, or 80-year-old father? Of course not. In the southeastern part of Nigeria, leadership is ascribed to the old aged people. These are the leaders of the people.
So you're talking about the Supreme Council of Elders?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That if the governors had climbed down their high horses and looked towards the leadership of their people, they would have realized that they themselves are subject to the elders.
Okay, thank you very much. With the wave of protests around Biafran land, what is your advice to Nigerian government and the international community?
Well, I don't think that with the present move by some youths towards what they consider free Kano, who is being detained by the security agencies, that shouldn't constitute a situation that will require international intervention. Why I say so is that as of now, the agitation is that the federal government should ask their security agencies to try and douse the fire they are trying to ignite by making a mountain out of a molehill. Kano is only one person. One person cannot levy a war against a nation. I've heard that some time ago, while in the United States, he made statements asking the various Igbo residents in the United States to raise funds to give him to buy weapons. I'm quite sure that even if you give him the money, he wouldn't know where to go and ask for weapons. He might think that even if he sees weapons, can he identify AK-47 from ordinary Oka-made weapon? No, I don't believe so. Neither do I expect that when given the money that he will be foolish enough to go and spend it to start shopping for weapons in the market. Look at the moment, the former security advisor to the former president is being asked to account for how many billions given to him to procure weapons for the armed forces. Was he able to do it? If he had been able to do it, would he be facing charges of a misappropriation of funds? Where did he keep the money? I doubt and I believe that either he has the money, he hasn't spent it, hence the military didn't get their weapons, or that he couldn't find a market that will sell weapons to him. So why will just a non-entity making a statement, give me money to buy weapons, be taken so seriously as to cause confusion within the southeastern states?
Okay, do you think that the federal government should just, I think, to overlook such utterances that they are claiming that Nnamdi Kanu or other youths are trying to raise war against Biafra? Do you advise, what is your advice to the government? Is it to overlook the situation and not push it towards the direction that it will ignite problem further?
My advice to the government is to douse the fire being raised by security agencies. The way to douse it is to ignore it. Grant the young man his freedom, but at least let him be cautioned. If he carries out such act again, there are places where such people will be treated, not being incarcerated in prisons. He'll be sent to a madhouse. But I don't think that he's mad enough to be sent to a madhouse. So the best thing is free him. Let everybody see that the government is a government of the people, a government that cares for the people, a government that believes in the people. Who are the people? Part of the Nigerian Federation is the Eastern region, Southeast and South-South. Here you have 11 states. These 11 states is where the exercise to free Kano is taking place. Businesses are being grounded. I would think that the government cannot say that they are not, they don't understand what's happening.
The people general, there is this quick general question, discussion going on right now. A lot of people, mostly people from the north and south, are trying to compare the Biafran situation, the agitation from Biafra, to what the Boko Haram is doing in the north. So to you, I don't know, because some elders are saying that this Biafran struggle should be stopped, that if it's not stopped, it might get out of hand and they go the Boko Haram way. Do you think Biafran struggle or agitation has any relationship to do with what the Boko Haram people are doing?
I'm not an expert in Boko Haram tactics or procedure. All I know is that Boko Haram started with agitation for Sharia. Sharia was introduced by some governors who deliberately decided to change the structure of Nigeria by introducing Sharia. Sharia has been introduced, making it that we have two separate legal systems. One is Islamic Sharia legal system, while on the other hand, we are operating the British legal system in our courts. Based on this, we realize that even the Constitution allows us to operate the traditional legal system, which is the rights of the indigenes to make laws within their own community. These laws is what governs the indigenous people of Biafra. The name Biafra is the name our forefathers have always used to define the territorial area within the eastern region they occupy. They were the people known as Biafrans. They were the people the Portuguese met within the 13th, 14th, 15th century when they were mapping all the Atlantic coasts and came within the territorial waters of what they then call the southern Sudan. And when they came in, they found a people and a territory that are self-governing, known as Biafrans. Hence, they call their territorial waters Bight of Biafra. So this being the case, what the Boko Haram is doing, if they had stopped at having got their own Sharia legal system and being called Borno, Adamawa, Yobe, and Arewa should have, if they had stopped there and decide that they are part of Nigeria, that would have been all right. What our fears were was that they were claiming territories by force and at the same time changing the names and saying that they are not Nigerians. For us, all we ask is that we be known as Biafrans.
Sometimes, I have a situation where some youths are asking this simple question: do we now say because we have invested so much in Nigeria, and said because of that we will continue to be forced into a marriage that most people are not comfortable with, just because of the property we have outside Biafran land?
No. We prefer being Biafrans.
Okay, thank you, General. Any word for Biafran people in conclusion?
Well, my word is simple enough. I should say that once Kano is released, this agitation should stop.
You mean the protest?
The protest should stop to enable us look into the main issue of what we are asking. We are asking that we should be known as Biafrans,
Okay,
within the territory we occupy.
all right, sir. Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to have you speaking with us, and we hope that we are going to have you again in Biafra Discourse. And to the listeners, thank you for listening, and our viewers, thank you for watching. This is Voice of Biafra BVI Channel 1, supporting indigenous people of Biafra agitation for self-determination, now as governed by the Supreme Council of Elders. For more information about the indigenous people of Biafra campaign for self-determination and independence as administered by the Supreme Council of Elders, the customary government of the indigenous people of Biafra, please visit our official website, www.ipobgovernment.org. Join us on Facebook at Biafra Voice International BVI Channel 1 or Indigenous People of Biafra-IPOB Online Community. Follow us on Twitter at Biafra Voice. We are also on Google+. Watch our video channels on YouTube at IPOB-GOVT Media-BVI. Our online radio broadcast starts by 9 p.m. Biafran time. I am Achuzie Peters. And with me, Vincent and Enugu, I say, stay blessed and keep the flag of Biafra flying. Thank you. We, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have started independence campaign to help Biafra people in Nigeria to achieve self-determination. As administered by the Supreme Council of Elders, the customary government of the indigenous people of Biafra. His Royal Majesty, Honorable Chief Justice Ezozobo, retired, is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. Dr. Dozie Ikedife, Ikenga Newi, is the deputy chairman, while Brigadier General Joe Achuzie is the secretary, and as well other principal officers of this customary government. Our ideology and adopted roadmap for pursuing self-determination and achieving independence for Biafra people hinge on rule of law by applying diplomacy, civil and human rights movement, court process, mass media, political and every other legitimate process of pursuing independence for Biafra. We abhor any form of breakdown of law and order, incisive hate speeches or broadcasts. We do not promote war as a way to achieve independence for Biafra. Through our Legal and Human Rights Department, Delay Human Rights Initiative, Biafra sued Nigeria to court for self-determination in suit number FHC/OW/CS/20
2013 at Federal High Court of Owerri. This established that Biafra is a legal entity and Biafra people have right to agitate for self-determination. This suit is still ongoing in Nigeria as the suit is now due to be taken to International Court of Justice. This is based on United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People for Self-Determination, as well adopted by African Union and by extension, Nigerian Constitution under the Customary law. Through our campaign, Biafra has been accorded full consultative status by United Nations and African Union Economic, Social and Cultural Council ECOSOC Department, and a delegation have been sent to represent indigenous people of Biafra at the United Nations ECOSOC meeting in New York, and as well African Union ECOSOC General Assembly meeting in Nairobi, Kenya. Other diplomatic channels are being explored through countries that are still sympathetic with our noble cause. We need your diplomatic, political, moral, and financial support to achieve our independence. Contact Indigenous People of Biafra government on 080-3710-4017 or 080-372-59304. Please add +234 if you are calling from outside Nigeria. You can also contact the Media and Information Department on +234 810 420 7522 or you call +44 744 821 7605. In Biafra, Africa shall rise again with the rising sun. Please support Indigenous People of Biafra campaign for self-determination. We urgently need funds to do the following: to upgrade Voice of Biafra BVI Channel 1 from internet TV and radio broadcast to world-class satellite TV and radio station. Fund is needed to finance our suit for self-determination currently at Federal High Court of Owerri, as we are set to take the suit to International Court of Justice through our Legal and Human Rights Department, the Human Rights Initiative. Fund is also needed to cover travel expense for our diplomatic missions to United Nations, African Union, European Union, and as well individual countries that are still sympathetic with our cause, while scouting for countries that will support this noble cause. Also, fund is needed to continue our women and youth empowerment program and as well community services. All these are capital intensive. 50 million naira is urgently needed to proceed. Our ideology hinges on applying the following: diplomacy, mass media, court process, both local and international, political means, and every other legitimate means of pursuing our right for self-determination in Nigeria and among the international community. We say no to war in Biafran land, Africa, and the world at large. We appeal to you as a concerned Biafran, sympathizer, or even as a philanthropic bystander to assist our noble cause. We assure your donations shall be kept confidential unless you instruct otherwise. We count on your donation, without which we cannot proceed. You can donate through our finance department, Omo Afra Indigenous Development Association. It is a body corporate with registered trustees you can really trust, under the customary government of Indigenous People of Biafra, as administered by the Supreme Council of Elders. The account name is Omo Afra Indigenous Development Association. Account number is 1771-641158. The bank is Sky Bank PLC. You can also donate through our PayPal link via our website www.ipobgovernment.org. For further inquiries, please call 080-3710-4017 or 080-3624-7812. Please add +234 if you are outside Nigeria. Yes, we can. Yes, we can be free. In Biafra, Africa shall rise again with the rising sun. Voice of Biafra, BVI Channel 1, giving Biafra our voice.
Africa, 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 yeah. Mama Africa, we cry for peace. Africa.